She got her hands out, but that don't mean shit. I'm throwing bands down, all on the bitch. I got it sold out, sweet never miss. She saw me all proud of the whip down the hit. So focused on material, all she wanna do is get me alone. The drinks don't stop, what a miracle. I can't tell what's going right or wrong. You got about 1, 2, 3 seconds before I tell your ass to leave. And you got about 1, 2, 3 minutes before you don't mean shit to me. Go ahead and show me what should I keep you around. You got about 1, 2, 3 seconds before I tell your ass to leave. Don't make a whole scene, cause that make it worse. You know what I need, I'm gon' need it hurts. Double no Siamese, it's bad like a curse. They saw me pull up, know that shit had to hurt. So now I'm done with the chasing. Tell me, does it make sense? Drop a little 10 piece and get it back, that's so amazing. This little bitch so basic, she don't wanna face it. Act like they don't see the vision, bitch you need some LASIK. So focused on material, all she wanna do is get me alone.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Miami Dolphins Syndicate. Thank you guys for joining the live. Hey, huge news just now. The Miami Dolphins have got their guy, Vic Fangio, to the Miami Dolphins. Yes! Hold on, I have a button for this.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby! The Dolphins got their guy. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, I couldn't even wait for the intro to finish. I saw some of y'all were in here. Let's go! Man, as you guys can see, I'm absolutely hyped. You guys did awesome, incredible on the video on Friday talking about the top 4 candidates left for the Dolphins. And I kept saying in there, I want Fangio. And we got him. Now, what does this mean for the Dolphins? This means that we're not going to be blitzing as much as we normally do. And I know some of you really want that. You guys want us to be blitzing, but that's okay because he gets pressure without blitzing. That's what his specialty is. He creates stunts and lets the secondary work. And having more guys back there in the secondary and his zone schemes are chef's kiss. Like, they're so good. So I can go way more in depth. Like, guys, drop comments. How do you feel right now? How do you feel? Tell me how you guys feel. Like, I am so hyped. Are y'all as hyped as me? I need to know. Man. Guys, I know my camera's going crazy because I keep going back and forth. I can't sit still right now. Let's go. I literally just like threw on this shirt from like the dryer. As soon as I, boop. Man, and we got this news just before they're about to start their games today. I don't even know what time they're supposed to start. I was just kind of waiting for the notification. Man, so for those of you that don't know, Vic Fangio is a defensive assistant with the Eagles. So he's going to be on the field today, and so it's kind of crazy this news came out, hours before game time. That's wild to me. That's wild. I thought, maybe we wouldn't know anything by, until tomorrow or something. That's crazy, though. That's crazy. The Dolphins got their guy. Mike McDaniel got his guy. He made probably the biggest hire he could possibly have had. I know everybody last year was like, hey, I don't know if we should keep Boyer. We kept him. Didn't work out that well. Fired his ass. And now we got our guy. We got Vic Fangio. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. Man. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what he's able to do with this defensive line. Like, if we're able to bring back Zach Sealer. What's up, Emmanuel? Bro, tell me how you're feeling. How you feeling, bro? It's on Twitter. It hasn't dropped on ESPN yet. Tom Pelissero reported it. And then our boy Daniel from the Miami Herald retweeted it, as well as Joe Shad. So very respectable people that we know. I looked you up, bro, and I remember TD Fist talking about, bro. Yo, we're actually going to be doing something with him soon, so keep an eye out. But TD, bro, you were, if you're watching this, you were massive in us getting some subs in, and I really appreciate it. We win in the Super Bowl, bro. That's not like, if we bring back everybody that we had on the defensive line last year and make some, if we can just stay healthy on defense or healthy-ish, if we don't have 5 DBs on IR, and we have Vic Fangio calling the plays, and by the way, guys, he signed a 3-year contract. He's going to be here for 3 years unless he absolutely sucks and gets fired, which I doubt, with a 4th-year option by the team. So the team can elect to have him for another year after that. So we got our guy, and this is what I was talking about with Vic Fangio. Like, we're going to have him long-term. Like, it's not going to be like, I like Sean Desai, his pretty much his disciple, but he's going to be a head coach in 2 years. I much rather have, the master himself, and he's going to be here longer. You know what I mean? Fins up, yes sir. With our young core and defense, he coached them too. Dude, it's over. Defense does win Super Bowls. Like, if you think about it, look at all the teams that are in it still. 49ers, number 1 defense. Eagles, top 5 defense. On the other side, Chiefs are the only exception to the rule, and that's because they have probably one of the. They have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the league right now, and I'm close to putting him like top 5 all time. Not there yet, but I'm close to. And then on the other side of that, you got who else is playing the Chiefs? Bengals. Bengals have a really good defense as well. It's crazy, bro. I'm pumped too, Mike. Let's go, dude. I'm so hyped up right now. It's incredible. Man. So I was explaining a little bit earlier I'm not sure if y'all were in here or not, but Vic Fangio, he doesn't really blitz a lot. That's not how he creates pressure. He creates pressure by a scheme. So he gets pressure without blitzing, which is pretty much what we need. Because we've been like top 5 in pressures for the last couple years, but then this past year we were like bottom half in sacks, and we were getting close but not finishing it. And I think a lot of it was because of the lack of creativity from Josh Boyer in the scheming of things. I know Vic Fangio, I was watching some of the Broncos tapes when he was there, some of the Chicago tape when he was defensive coordinator there. He ran a lot of stunts. So what stunts are, pretty much you cross. It's pretty much it. So Christian Wilkins will go and hit center, and then Steeler will loop around, and that creates a lot quicker pressure. We did it a few times this year, and it worked. But Josh Boyer did not do it more than that, or enough, I should say. And on top of that, it gives us more guys in the secondary, which we saw how the secondary did this year. Given we were down 5 DBs, so I think having more guys back there allows for not as much pressure on our big guys. I look very forward to what Darth Cater can. Bro, Darth Cater. I'm interested to see the defensive staff that stays. Like, is Sam Madison staying? I know Pat Surtain is going to be going to FSU, but I know Sam Madison, he was instrumental in getting Cater to where he is. I think he actually made Noah Igbenogany a lot better this year too. I know Igbo was inactive a lot of this year, but I did see major improvements from him. I'm super happy about Vic Fangio. I'm very scared about the Tua thing though. So, bro, honestly, for Tua being still in concussion protocol, we don't really need to worry about that too much. Now, when I say that, by not worry about it too much, it's that it was deliberate for him to still be in concussion protocol. It's not that he had any setbacks or hasn't been cleared to go to the next step. So pretty much what concussion protocol is that you spend 24 hours in each step. They designed it so he spends like almost a week in each step. So yeah, it's been a month, But there was another guy that they said they're pretty much following like almost the same plan that he had, where he missed the final 3 games of last year on the Chargers. He was a tight end. I don't remember his name, but he got cleared in like early February. So I wouldn't doubt if Tua clears like around Super Bowl time or a week after the Super Bowl or whatever. Yeah, I'm not like too concerned about this particular concussion. Now Tua going forward, it's weird because he's not, I wouldn't say he's injury prone. I would say he's freak injury prone. Like stuff that you can almost prevent or happens like freak of nature. Like his hip injury, that was like a freak. That was a freak injury. When he got to the NFL, the ribs injury, that he just got hit massively hard in the ribs. Mike White had the same injury. The 2 concussions fell really awkwardly on his head. It's like you have to prevent that stuff. You have to protect yourself better to avoid the freak injuries. Yeah, I mean, they said that he's going to be our QB. They've said today that they're not going to go out and get Tom Brady. So I think that they're going to stick with him unless, maybe this concussion thing isn't as deliberate as it's being reported and he's still in it. And I honestly don't doubt that they don't even pick up his 5th-year option, for the reason being that they would have to pay him like upwards of like $20 million, and they don't know how he's going to do this season. They don't know if he's going to stay on the field all of this season. So, haven't played a whole year, but that's what I'm saying, Mike. It's like it's been like freak injury prone. Like every year he allows himself to get these like freak injuries by stuff that he could easily prevent. The only injury I think he couldn't have prevented was the rib injury last year. The hip injury he held on to the ball too long. His concussion in Cincinnati held on to the ball too long. The fall, the concussion this year. We don't have money for Brady if we want to pay more of the big dogs like Wilkins to stay. I mean, that's kind of true too. But if you think about it, you're paying Brady for 1 or 2 years. You can fully guarantee that contract, and you can convert most of it to bonus. So bonus doesn't count against the cap. So it's basically how much does Stephen Ross want to pay, and if he really is serious about going and getting Brady and going and winning a Super Bowl, he's going to find a way to pay all the guys to go and do it. Hey, I'm on top. I want Brady here. I want him. But I'm just saying because it was reported today that they're not going to go after him. That's why and it was by, Adam Schefter. It wasn't by a nobody. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to go and get Brady. Now, unless he thinks about possibly if we don't pick up Tua's 5th-year option, right? And Tua doesn't get or he gets hurt or doesn't play as well next year, there's still a possibility of getting Brady the year after that, or going and getting a different QB the year after that. I think they just want to see Tua for 1 more year. I think it's a real possibility that they don't pick up his 5th-year option and still play him and commit to him this year. But they're not committing beyond this year. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, I mean, back to Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio, my man. But I won't be upset if he's our QB next season as well. I have to be fair. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he looked absolutely. He had his moments of when he looked bad. Like in the 49ers game, he looked bad. There was open guys. That's why I'm saying that I'm actually picking the Eagles today, because their offense was similar to ours and as far as like they're almost unstoppable. You know what I mean? And Tua was off in the 49ers game. The Chargers game, he had some bad throws, but it wasn't as many as, I initially thought. I went back and I rewatched the game, and he hit a lot of his throws. So let's hope he has a clear head. Pun intended. I like it. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I definitely, I want Tua to be the guy. I just don't know. We know what Tom Brady is. We know what Tom Brady brings to the table. We know he can go and win us a Super Bowl. We don't know what Tua is yet, and I think that's why they want to see him for another year. They don't want to be those guys that gave up too early. Now it's just sucks, because he's such a good kid. I mean, he's literally like 2 days older than me. But he's such a good guy, and you root for him, and you just, he doesn't have the biggest arm. He has enough to get it done, but I keep saying that for him to be successful, he needs to be like Tom Brady. He needs to be like Drew Brees. He needs to be like Peyton Manning. So if he's not going to be like those guys, I don't see how he's going to be successful. He needs to be extremely elite at what he does. Now, Jacob was saying, yeah, he's accurate. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum if you don't have the athleticism of Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is, accurate as hell, but that's regardless of my point. So I think, in order for Tua to be successful, he needs to be at that level of those GOATs. And I don't know if he's got that or not. Now, may he? Possibly. I just don't know. And I'd rather win a Super Bowl. Sorry. I hope he's the guy. I hope I'm completely wrong and, we go in next season with him and we just absolutely crush it and win. And I think this defense is going to be key. Because if you think about this past year with Josh Boyer didn't give us an opportunity to go and win the 49ers game. They had like a 6 or 7 minute drive towards the end of that game before we had the ball back and went down, kicked the field goal, then onside kick. And then that didn't successful, and then the fumble, and then, the 49ers game just went out of proportion. How many times this season, though, did we lose games because we couldn't get the ball back? Like, you can blame the offense for not going down there and scoring. Tyreek Hill and Waddle need to step up as well. There could have been so many opportunities. Waddle had a really rough season for drops. Tyreek Hill actually had better hands than I thought he was going to this year. There were a few that he could have caught or whatever, but he had not as many big drops. Waddle had a lot of big drops. He needs to sit there in front of the jugs machine and just catch like 200 passes of 200 passes of practice. But yeah, he had a couple big time drops. Like, we probably would have won that Buffalo playoff game if it wasn't for Waddle's drops. Now, given there's also, we could have won if we didn't blitz on 3rd and 18. So there's always, something that comes up with the defense. Like, we could have won here with the offense, but we definitely could have won here with the defense. Same thing with Jason Sanders. I have a video coming out about him in the next couple days. What should the Dolphins do with Jason Sanders? He missed kicks throughout the season. There are so many things as to why this team only went 9-8. And yeah, we made the playoffs and we had a good competitive game against the Buffalo Bills. But I think the Buffalo Bills were arguably overrated. Now, I liked the Bills, but outside Stephon Diggs, they didn't really have anybody. And Ken Dorsey was not drawing up good plays for them. It was run play that didn't go anywhere. They have no run game. They haven't had a run game since Josh Allen's been there. He is their run game. Now, James Cook is doing something decently well for him, and then that defense was just as injured as ours. So, yeah, it was kind of crazy. Oh, trust me, I have plenty of criticism of the defense too. Bro, I had so much criticism. One of my biggest things, and I like Keon Crossan as a special teamer. He's a really good special teamer. But the fact that he was in on as our third corner and Noah Igbenogany was inactive. Now, whoever the defensive coordinator is has full and absolute control of the defense. Full and absolute control of the defense. So for Igbo being inactive as much as he was, that was on Josh Boyer. And Now, guys, I'm not saying, Igbo is definitely a bust. But he has been playing better this season, especially better than Keon Crossan. And so for him being inactive as much as he was, and for him, having Keon Crossan guard Diggs. I mean, I saw Diggs one-on-one with Igbo for a few reps, and Igbo got the best of him a couple times. And then I saw Keon Crossan on Diggs, and I saw Keon Crossan absolutely get smoked. Now, given it's Diggs. So, Keon Crossan got smoked by a lot of guys this season, and he just wasn't put in a position to succeed with his defense, and that's part of Josh Boyer's job. Now that is Vic Fangio's job. And I am so hyped. Hold on, I gotta hit this button again. Let's go! So hyped to have Vic Fangio with us. So hyped. And I'm interested in seeing who his assistants on the staff will be. Who is he going to bring as defensive line coach? Or are we going to keep our defensive line coach? Linebacker coach. I know Anthony Campanelli got an interview with us on Friday for the job. Obviously, he did not get it. But does that mean that the Dolphins want him to stay? I'm hoping that Vic Fangio kind of chops the wood with him and lets him go and get a job elsewhere. I feel like we can get a better linebackers coach, someone that's going to teach these guys how to, actually play in zone coverage. We have sucked in zone since Brian Flores has got here. So we've sucked in zone for 4 years now. Vic Fangio runs an elite zone defense. Now they play man sometimes too, but he runs an elite zone defense. Are we looking for big time offensive coaches also? I don't think so. I don't think anybody on offense has been released or has taken a different job. I don't see anybody really. I don't see any changes on the offensive staff. The only thing I can really think of would be maybe running backs coach. I know Studsville got interviews as well. We kept him on staff. So I know he got interviews as well. I'm not sure if he's gonna get anything, but ultimately, as far as offense, I'm fine with retaining and not really upgrading any of the guys that we have there offensively. Because one of the things that Wes Welker was preaching about in his press conferences were the ability to catch and run with the ball, like running through the ball and not jumping to catch it like what Waddle does so often. So if Waddle can kind of fix that a little bit and kind of run through the ball more like what Tyreek Hill does, I think we can be extremely successful. And huge, yes, John Yang. Yes, it is huge. Huge. Absolutely huge. Huge hire. I am so hyped up for this hire. Offensive tackles. They say that they're bringing Austin Jackson back. We'll see how truthful that is. Left tackle, we're going to have Teron Armstead. Running backs, all of our running backs are free agents except for Savon Ahmed. I anticipate him being back for camp. I anticipate Mostert being back. I don't know about Jeff Wilson Jr. I know we traded a fifth for him, but I don't see him actually being. I don't think he contributed enough because he's more of a pure runner than he dropped a few passes. Like, yeah, he had a couple passes that screens that he caught, but a lot of the times he was misrunning routes. And quarterback. So quarterback, obviously Tua is going to be starter. Skylar's going to be there. It's going to be a matter of, do we go and get another veteran backup? Do we think Skylar's going to do the job? I think, with Skylar having being injured in both the games that he has played in, I think we need a third quarterback, unfortunately, to say that, because to have two kind of injury-riddled quarterbacks, I'm not going to say injury-prone, Skylar's more injury prone, but Tua is freak injury prone. I was explaining that a little bit earlier. He's prone to these freak injuries that are almost preventable. You know what I mean? So we know I would draft one. We don't need a vet. See, but the problem with drafting one is that A, we don't have that many draft picks this year. We have 4 or 5. And B, you're going to have another young guy come in that's not really experienced. I mean, given the experienced guys aren't that, solid either. There's a few, but there's not going to be many. I mean, we thought Teddy was going to be solid. We thought that was a huge backup to have. I mean, we thought this almost the same thing with Jacoby Brissett. So it's kind of hard to nail one down. Now, I wouldn't mind going and getting some of these guys in like the super late rounds that I know the Dolphins have been connected to Anthony Richardson if he falls in the second. I don't know. I'll do more of my draft stuff a little bit later. Bro, Brissett was burnt brisket, and Teddy Two Gloves we needed him to be what he was when he was with the Saints, but he wasn't. He was more antsy. He wasn't as calm. He was antsy in the pocket. His throws were late. He didn't anticipate. That's what this offense is anticipation. That's why Skylar didn't do as well as we saw him in the preseason, because in the preseason he was playing against guys and people were running open. You didn't have to throw them open. He is a specimen. Anthony Richardson is a specimen. I do like him a lot for developmental reasons. However, I don't think he's a first-round talent. I think he's going first round because he's, just built like that. I think that's why he's going first round. I think he should fall to the second. I don't think he will, though, just because of his athletic traits. But Vic Fangio, guys. Vic Fangio. My man. He's going to bring us back to the promised land of a good Dolphins defense. What we do well. Now, I hope... So, he has his own scheme, right? I hope, though, is that he acknowledges that, hey, we have a team that can play a lot of man-to-man and can play it well. So rather than trying to force zone coverage, I am hoping that he does, what's the word I'm looking for? I transform his defense to fit the specialty and the strengths of our players. So that's what I'm hoping for. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So, what you guys have any questions about Vic Fangio? Like what? So, John, what's your so we were talking about all these other positions. What's your thoughts on Vic Fangio? Talk to me, my man. Man, I wish our Dolphins was playing today. This hurts. Is that a pun? Is that a pun? This hurts. I'd rather go in a playoff game with Skylar than a vet like Dalton or Winston or Darnold. Honestly, though, Winston wasn't playing bad with the Saints when Sean Payton was there and at the beginning of this season. I thought Dalton being benched for him, or Dalton starting over him after Winston was cleared was absolute BS. I'm going to be honest with you. Winston was one of the quarterbacks I was hoping to get for a backup. But yeah, I think Skylar has a higher ceiling than Winston. Being that I think he has a more, I'm not gonna say more accurate. I mean, they're about the same accuracy wise and arm strength wise. Leadership wise, Winston has it. Athleticism wise, being able to maneuver around the pocket, scramble, run for yards, Skylar has that. So I mean, Skylar going into year 2, I think he can make, a leap. I just don't see him being the guy. So you also have to think, I would have drafted Hurts 5th overall 3 years ago. Funny you say that. I told Jacob, my co-host, if y'all haven't watched any other videos, I have a co-host, Jacob Kelly. I was talking with him before the 2020 draft, and I told him, I don't know about Tua. He and then draft someone else in the first, because I didn't want Herbert either because of his lack of leadership. I thought that would really hurt him coming into the NFL. You always heard about how Tua was like a quiet leader, but you always heard about how Herbert shied away from leadership. I would say Skylar's more of like a second string guy than a third string guy. The only reason I would put him third is because of his injury stuff. Now, we saw like, so the Vikings game when Skylar came in and he was a starter. When he was a starter in the Viking game, he was playing well up until when he got injured. In the Jets game, he didn't play that well, but he was playing scared. He was trying to get us to the playoffs. That was a really good defense. He played scared. Against the Bills, he let it loose. It's kind of like there is no tomorrow kind of thing. And he played a lot better than I anticipated him playing. And obviously there's room for improvement, but he probably this whole season had like 2.5 weeks of starting work. Like starting prep, like where he actually was the number one guy in. It's funny you say Bennett. Bennett is actually going to be, Hooker I would take. I would love Hooker in the second round. I would definitely draft Hooker in the second round if he's there. 100%. Stetson Bennett is not going to be, he's going to be there in like the 5th or 6th rounds. But Bennett actually got arrested today on a public intoxication charge. So there's that. I think he'll fall to the 7th round because of that. Maybe if they forget, he'll be drafted. I mean, Baker had the same thing, but that was in his junior year before he, went off in his senior year and won the Heisman. But Hendon Hooker, I would absolutely love to draft him in the second round. The only reason he's going in the second round, by the way, is because of his ACL injury. And he's not going to be ready until like mid-season. But I would absolutely, if he's there in the second round, I'm drafting him. You draft the best guy available. I mean, remember when the Pats drafted Jimmy G? They were in the middle of winning how many Super Bowls when they drafted him? Insane. And now he's on the 49ers as a, well, he's going to be third string now if he's still there. But honestly, I would even trade for Trey Lance. Like, I'm for moving off Tua, but I want to move off him for Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I want to move off him for guys that are going to win us a Super Bowl. Trey Lance, I think that sets us back a couple years because I think we don't know what Trey Lance is yet. It's an unknown. Now he has the qualities to go and, maybe do some stuff. I mean, there's a reason he was drafted 3rd overall, but he's an unknown. Jordan Love, unknown. I would love to have him too. So it's going to set us back a couple years, especially with the draft capital that we would have to give up to trade for those guys. But if Hooker is there, I would absolutely take him. And but yeah, what about Vic Fangio? Like, what do you think he's going to do with his defense? Emmanuel, by the way, you would think it wouldn't hurt as much, being that we haven't been in this position since I've been alive, to actually being in the conference championship. But yeah, it still hurts a little bit every time I watch football and it's not the Dolphins. It hurts. Man, guys, I am so hyped up for Fangio. Like, I don't think you guys understand how hyped up I am for him. I think he's going to do he's a guy that's going to bring this defense to the next level. He's going to be able to create pressure without blitzing, and we'll be able to have kind of a QB spy of sorts. Bro, Channing Tindall playing middle linebacker next season would be so good in Vic Fangio's defense. You think about him just sitting in that little zone. He can go and cover. He can spy on Josh Allen or whoever's there. And the defense, we're going to have so many DBs laying back that no one's going to be open. He's going to be able to go in there and sack the quarterback after spying for a little bit. I am so ready for this defense next year. Now, I wonder, I put out a video earlier today on like what the Dolphins should do with Byron Jones. If he comes back next season, I think he can be a really good asset if he's able to actually play. That's if he comes back. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know what his injury status is. Man, what are your guys' thoughts? Come on, talk to me here. Talk to me about Fangio. Talk to me about the Dolphins. Talk to me about anything. Talk to me. What's up? See if there's any more news on. Oh, we had the game going. That's why. Yeah, but guys, look at this. Look at that. Dolphins land legendary DC Vic Fangio. Bro, so hyped up about that. So hyped up. All right, guys. Well, the game is now on, and none of y'all are talking to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. And I appreciate y'all for coming in. Really do. Thanks for talking to me about Tua, about Vic Fangio, about everything. So I'll catch you on the next one. Hey, guys, if you're still here, make sure tell somebody you love them. Love you guys. Be safe, and adios.